Hello, beauties, and welcome to day 20 of the Intuitive Upgrade. I'm Victoria Bond, and I'm coming to you from my car. And as you can see in the background, if you are on the video, that I am also at the beach. The house is full, so I thought I wanted some peace and quiet. So I came down to the beach, but it was too windy, so I went and grabbed my car and came to the beach. How does it get any better than that? Okay, I want to talk to you about this beautiful brain, this beautiful mind that sometimes gets in the way of your intuition. On one of the very first videos, we talked about intelligence versus wisdom, and this is slightly similar, really, because our minds take over, our thinking takes over, and quite often we get these mind thought entities, which I've also talked about as well, and Eckhart Tolle talks about this quite a lot as well. So how do we get beyond this thinking and start listening to the intuitive hits? Well, we have to take action on these intuitive hits that we get. And the way that we do that is we can write it down, or we just have to take one step in the direction of the intuitive hit. So an intuitive hit is when you've had an idea, like you've had an aha moment. And I know that every single person that is listening to this knows exactly what I'm talking about, because all those people that said, I had these great ideas, and I had an idea to jump into Bitcoin 5 years ago, and I would have been a multimillionaire. That's kind of my husband's intuitive hits that he talks about. So there could be those types of hits, or these hits of, I could start this coffee shop and do this, or I could go do that program, or I could start a program. I could do all these different things, and you get these intuitive hits, and it feels so light and expansive, and it feels so exciting, and you're like, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to start that Facebook group, I'm going to start that business, I'm going to buy that Bitcoin, or I'm going to go do that yoga class, whatever it is. You get these intuitive hits, and you're like, oh my God, that feels so juicy, that feels so exciting, hello Jess. And then what happens is you start thinking, let's think about the logistics and the practicality of doing these things. And although that is important, the mind doesn't just stop there. It starts going into the pros and cons list. And then you start thinking, okay, so to do that, I have to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Oh my God, I'm exhausted. And I was watching a Tia Swan video the other day, and she was saying, if you went into the logistics of what it is like to go and have a coffee with a friend, you think, okay, I've got to get out of bed, I've got to get dressed, I've got to go brush my teeth and do my hair, I've got to do my hello Bernie, I've got to do my makeup, I've got to jump in my car, I might need to get some gas, then I've got to drive to the coffee shop, and then I get to sit down with my friend and have a coffee. And if we thought that way about everything that we were doing, we wouldn't even go have a goddamn coffee with our friend, because you'll think, especially being a projector like me, you'd be like, that's too exhausting, I don't want to do that. But we don't think about that stuff. We don't think about it because we just think about the end result, what it's going to be like when we're with our friend in the coffee shop. And this is exactly the same if you are building a multi-millionaire, $1 million business, starting a Facebook group, joining a program, or creating a program, or just whatever, buying the Bitcoin, whatever the intuitive hit is for you, you got it for a reason. It's going to lead you to something else magical, or it is a thing that you need to look at and take action on. We must take action on the intuitive hits. When we go into overthinking, pros and cons lists, logistics, and the practicality, and the money is one of the biggest things, which I've got an announcement about that tomorrow, by the way, wink wink. So when we go into the money of it, and we go into the ABCs and the massive plan on how that's going to happen, then we don't want the goddamn coffee or the thing, because we are stuck in the details. So let me know if this is making sense to you guys, because my husband and I were going for a drive today with the kids and the dog up Coromandel, and to go get our smoked mussels and doing all the delicious things that we love to do in life, that we do quite often now. And he said to me, Victoria, you take action And the problem that most people have, and I'm one of those people, is that thank you, Laurie Jane, to put out a post on Facebook, to put out, to do a Facebook Live, or if we're talking about someone like a coach, we're talking about coaches and practitioners here, and we're talking about how only 1% of people actually make it, only 5% actually get past the, 5-figure a month mark, and we're talking about like what is difference between me and other coaches that haven't got up to this, these 5 figures monthly like I have. And he said, you go out and you just do it and you don't think about it. So I literally go, oh, I've got an intuitive hit. I'm going to go talk about this, or I'm going to start in a 21-day intuitive upgrade challenge. Do you think I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it and planned this for 28 years? No. I thought about it for about 20 minutes and put it together. And I followed my intuition and my soul calling, because I'm a soul coach. So I know how to do that. Anyway, I'm just going to get more comfortable in my car here. And he said, what you do is easy. And coaches could become very successful, and practitioners, and anyone who wants to do anything, but they start thinking about it. And if they're going to go put a post out on Facebook or do a Facebook Live, it's very simple to do. It would take them probably an hour to create 3 posts, to do a live. Boom, done. There's your work done for the day. But they think about it, and then they think about if everyone's going to like it, and they're going to think about if people don't like it, how they're going to feel, and they're going to go deep into the feelings of how they're going to feel if they get rejected. And then by the time they get to actually creating the post, they're freaking exhausted. So then they're writing it in the wrong energy. And then when they post it, of course, it doesn't have the right energy and it's not going to have that desired effect. They didn't follow their intuition and just do the post and push send like I did yesterday. I did 2 when I was looking at the beach. It took me probably half an hour because I've just kept checking my spelling and stuff and downloading. But it was two or three massive posts I did, like in maybe 20 minutes. It was nothing. It was easy peasy. But a lot of people would have sat on that and thought about it, and by the time they even got to do it, so I'm talking to all those coaches and all those spiritual entrepreneurs out there, and all the people that are stuck in their head, stuck in their minds, and then they don't end up even doing it. And that's what my husband said. He said, all of these things that have passed me by is because I didn't take action. And then I watch you, and you just go action things, and it just works. And I go, yeah, because it's exhausting for me to think too much. So I just don't. It's that simple. Listening to your intuitive hits, buying the house, moving, or like I say, buying the program, or actually doing the program, actually doing the journaling, actually going for the walk, or, I did a 21K run, half a marathon last year. It was a thought. I would like to do a half a marathon. I did it. Like, it was not even a big deal. It was really easy because I didn't overthink it. I just did it. Of course, I trained, but that was quite simple too. I just planned how I was going to train. So what I want to share with you is a tool. And this is what I said to my husband today, because he had this big talk to me, because we're very different in disc. Ask Wayne. He's like the opposite to me. So I'm a real D energy. I like to get things done. And that's why people transform my vortex, because I'm like, go do this, go do this, go do this. And my husband's very much past based. He's very much an S energy. Hello, Emma. And so when people in the S energy in the disc profiling system, they kind of sit in the past a lot. They review the past, and they somewhere in their head, they feel like the past is intertwined with the future, but it's not really. So I said to my husband, pay attention in the present, project into the future, and scan the past to see what you could learn and bring forward. Scan it. Do not sit in the past. Do not dwell in the past. Do not live in the past, like a lot of people in the S energy do. I've had a lot of clients in the S energy, and I've had to... That was my hair. I was like, is that a dog? In the mirror. Oh, sorry, I get distracted really easily. So yeah, like, be in the present. project into the future, to be there, to feel that, to bring that into the present, and scan the past really quickly. What did I learn from that? What did I learn from that? What did I learn from that? I literally look at my past videos. I literally look at my past business. I literally look at my behaviors and my thought patterns, my emotional mastery, my friendships, my clients, and I scan it all. And I go, what did I learn from that? What worked and what didn't? And I bring it into the now. And I project into the future, see how I can do things better. That's simply how I do it. There's no, hi Steph, there's no place for regret. There's no place for feelings of like, what if? Like I said to my husband, he's like, what if I actually put that money into Bitcoin? I would be like so rich. And I go, yeah, but what if you also got that business that you were going to have before you broke your back? Because long story short, we had 2 little kids. I'd just come out of depression, and my husband was going to buy a franchise, an electrical franchise, because that just seemed to be the next step in this reality. Did we really want to do it? Probably not, because I said I was going to do book work, and so we must have been desperate. And the interesting thing was, we went out and we went swimming, went to a waterhole, and Luke jumped off this cliff, and he actually fractured his back, and he was off work for 6 months. So that franchise didn't happen, and we count our blessed stars every day that we didn't start that business, because he wouldn't have seen his kids as much. We wouldn't be doing what we're doing now. He'd be working to the bone probably and giving away a percentage of what he made. And I said, everything happens for a reason. Right up until now, everything happens for a reason. So go scan that past and see what you do differently. See what golden nuggets that you can learn from. The truth is, guys, and I talk about this a lot in my programs, but like having guilt and having those energies of guilt and shame and all of those things, they're just there for us to learn, so we don't do the same mistakes. So of course, when my husband's feeling guilty for not buying Bitcoin because we could be multimillionaires, I don't care. I'm like, whatever. It's like, well, what did you learn from that? And move on. If you have an intuitive hit, make a fucking move. If you have an intuitive hit, go write it down. If you have an intuitive hit, literally tap yourself on the head, right? And just go, okay, I deserve what I desire. Let's do this. Like, do something. Go tell somebody, write it down, say, I've got this idea. What do you think? Let's go. And I've had tons of intuitive hits today, already, after meditating, that I'm going to share with you guys tomorrow. So I'm so excited. I'm not going to sit there and dwell and think and think and think and think and think. I'm just going to go, hey, you guys want to fucking play? Let's go. And that's the beauty of, being a dominant energy, is I can actually just take massive action. But we're not all dominant. And a lot of us do have this beautiful energy and incredible brain that likes to think things through. So what we can do is we can literally come back to presence, come back to grounding, come back to breathing, come back to core soul essence, project into the future of, oh yeah, it's looking good, visualize, having all the things, the body and the orgasmic energy and the money and the overflow and the psychic abilities and the friendships and the love and the miracles and the magic, and then call them into the now. Look back and go, what worked, what didn't? Do a little scan, move on. We have been given all of these feelings and emotions so we can evolve and grow and transform. And using our intuition is the best thing possible. Now, we listen to things differently. We've got all the different clairs. We can see, we can hear, we can know. I'm claircognizant, if that's how you say it. Like, I just know stuff because I listen with my body, with my knowing, with my everything. I see and I know and I hear and I feel, and I trust that, and then I take action. Let's be spontaneous and follow our thoughts. Yeah, exactly. Using your thoughts like that's fine, because is that thought an intuitive hit? Well, absolutely. But if we go into the thoughts and we turn it into a thought entity and our ego comes in, and then we start feeling, oh, I couldn't do that because what if we go into the thinking too much, then we mess ourselves up. So it's that fine line between using the mind for what it's really for, like the intuitive thoughts, that they're downloads, they're channels. We have downloads and channels all the time. Like I've already channeled like things to tell you about tomorrow. Like I'm really excited. I'm just trying to hold back not to tell you now because I know you're going to love it. So what else is possible with using our being? Our being is intuitive. Yeah, and the reason, Steph, we were talking about it just before you jumped on, is this S energy, and you've got a lot of S energy in you. You're this beautiful, nurturing energy that loves to help people transform. And an S energy does sit in the past a little bit because we think so much. And that's okay. We just need to know how to jump into the other energies that we have. So one of the meditations I do, and I might actually even gift you guys a meditation actually, but what I do is I invite all of my members, my clients, to expand larger than the world. So the world is within them, because this is how large we can actually be. And that can change everything, because when we're expanded and we can become the observer, our world can literally and does transform. Some people will transform in my vortex because they're ready, and some people won't because they want to be attached to the 3D. And that's okay. It's totally okay. But what I find in my paid groups, my membership, and my Release Your Blocks and Magnificent Mediumship, and my mastermind, of course, what I actually find is that the people that come to me are ready to transform, and they're ready to expand so big and so large that they go beyond the thought, and they actually follow their intuition and their hits. Sometimes the hits don't make sense, right? So sometimes things don't make sense because the brain goes, what are you doing? But if you can follow those hits, this is why people become multi-millionaires. This is why people have those entrepreneurs have those hits, and they're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this program out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And they listen to their knowing, and their knowing is stronger than their overthinking. Why do only 5% of coaches make it to the 5-figure mark monthly? A lot are weekly, and I've certainly experienced that. But why does it happen? Because of the overthinking and the thinking, how are people really going to perceive me? Are they going to think I'm egotistic? Are they going to think I'm too much? Are they going to judge me? How am I going to appear to everybody else? And when we go to that place, especially if you're a generator, a lot of generators do that in the human design because they're designed to respond. When that happens is we shrink. We're no longer larger than the world if you're expanding like I do with all my clients. You go small and you try to lock everything into your body so no one sees you, so you're not showing up. Now, some of you will understand what I'm saying, some of you may not, and that's okay as well. I'm kind of talking to your subconscious and your being and your higher self. So it's time to drop barriers. It's time to expand. It's time to listen to your intuition. This is called the 21-day intuitive upgrade, which means less head, less mind fucking of yourself, and more intuitive following, more intuitive hits. What does that feel like? Now, one thing that we use in Access Consciousness is light and heavy. And to be honest, it's not just Access Consciousness. All my coach use light and heavy. So what lights you up? This is really just a universal law, I think. What lights you up and feels light and expansive? Like someone goes, hey, Vic, do you want to go for coffee? And I'm like, yes, I do. Like, I know. I'm like, yes, I do. Yay, I'm going to go for coffee with my friend. You go have coffee, and it feels good. Another scenario could be like, hey Vic, do you want to go for a coffee? And so I'm feeling tired and lethargic and I can't be bothered and I just want to go have a mermaid bath. And I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. And I've actually had an intuitive hit, like a sinking feeling, a lower sinking feeling of, I'm tired, I don't really want to go, but it'll be okay once I get there. Or someone goes, can you look after my kids? And you're like, I'll look at my diary. Yeah, it's okay. Really, you wanted to say no, but you said yes, even though you wanted to say no. Why'd you do that? You did that for the other person, not for yourself, right? So what is light and expansive and lights you up and you're like, yes, and you feel like you're actually expanding beyond your body. Hi, Helen. When you feel like you're expanding beyond your body and you're like, it's like your wedding day. I feel so expanded and joyful right now, like I'm with a good friend having coffee. That is a yes. Whatever matches me being with my children or my husband, because I just adore them so much, is a yes. Now, if someone asks me something and I don't really want to do it and I feel tired and I feel a sinking feeling in my gut, or I feel smaller, so someone asks me to do something and I don't want to do it, I feel a shrinking in and it's like a heavier feeling. So that is light and expansive or heavy and contracted. And that's one of the first things you learn with Access Consciousness. And that's the things that my coach have always said, does it light you up? Is it true for you? What do you know about that? These are all the questions that I ask my clients. And hey Sarah, you're not on replay. And a lot of the time, my coaches ask me, if I say, what do you think about this idea? And they'll go, well, does it light you up? What do you know about that? Because we know everything, guys. We know everything in the core of our essence. We know what an intuitive hit is because we're energetic beings having a human experience. It's amazing. You're a fucking miracle. That's what you are. So if you're a miracle, then you can create miracles. So the brain has been given to us as an incredible tool, and so is our energy. Like what I teach about is flowing energy, pulling energy, releasing energy, dropping energy, releasing blocks, all of those types of things, but we don't get taught that. So I think I talked about that on Holistic Energy Shifting a couple of nights ago. I did a live on there. So are you ready to actually listen to your intuition? Are you still waiting for the prince in the shining armor to save you? Are you waiting for to die so you can be taken to heaven? Like, what are you waiting for? Why the hell do we sit around waiting when we have this one life and thinking with our brain of, what if they don't like me? What if they care about what I say? What if people are talking behind my back? Who cares? Not everyone's going to like me, and I know people don't like me. People probably get really triggered. You might even be triggered by listening to this now. But I'm going to be unapologetically me, and I'm always going to take action on my intuitive hits, because for every 3 people that don't like me, 300 are going to transform in my vortex. So how does that change everything when I'm listening to my intuition? It changes everything. Yes or no. Light and heavy. Not going to the brain. If you want to do something and it's way out of your budget, and I know this because I've done this a lot in the last 2 years. There's a rainbow right in front of me, by the way. That's really strange. I'm like, there's no rain. You just say, I'm choosing that. I'm choosing that. I'm deciding to do that. That feels fucking epic. So what would it take for that to happen? Then you know that you've done your job. If your intuition, if your gut is a yes, 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 I'm choosing. Feels so light and expansive. And then you go to your brain and go, I can't afford it. I don't have the time. I've got other commitments. These are the things I hear all the time. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, cool. That's not true, but whatever. If that's your truth, that's totally okay. I totally get it. And when my coach was like, you need to pay me like 10K, she didn't say that, but it was 10K to work with her. I just went into, I'm choosing it. I'm choosing it. I'm choosing it. I'm choosing it. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Then I was like, oh my God, I don't have 10K. I don't have $10,000 just sitting around. Like, oh my gosh. And like, this was at the time, this was like only kind of like, I don't know, like 6 months ago, whatever. I was like, I don't have just 10K, like just to put on a coach. Like, and then I thought about it and I went, oh my God, if I was living in integrity, what would I do? I would say yes, I would choose it, and then I would know that I'd done my half and that I would expect money to come my way. I would expect miracles to come my way because I had the intuitive hit that said yes. Your intuitive hit of yes comes to you for a reason. It is because it is your body giving you that indicator, that expansive feeling that you get, that rush, those tingles that you get, that this is the way forward. This is a path forward. So what are you going to do about it? What magic are you going to make? You are magic. So magic and miracles happen. It's just the way it is. How does that change everything? No knight in shining armor. No God coming down to save you, to take you to the next realm. No someone's winning lotto. That's when I hear a lot. When I win lotto, when I've got money. No when or if or want or try. Listen to your intuition, into your intuitive hits. Now in human design, we've got different authorities. So you might have splenic hits. You might have sacral hits. You may have to wait for like a lunar cycle. There's all these different things, which I will actually go into in the future. But what I want to let you know is when we get an intuitive hit, it's going to feel different for everybody. What does yours feel like? Put it in the chat box. Let me know, what does your intuitive hit feels like? For me, it's I'm going to do that. Oh, I wonder how that could work. What else is possible with that? How does it get any better than that? Oh, what could I add? What could I drop? Am I choosing this? Does it feel good? Oh, what could that create? Would this create more for the world? I ask myself a whole lot of questions. Yes, no, yes. Am I choosing this? Yes. Okay, cool. What's the next step forward? So I'm using my brain as the tool that it is. So I'm going to leave you with that. Mine feels like an expansive yes. So much excitement, energy, feels great. Yeah. So then you know the money will come. You know the clients will come. You know that any post that you put up in your group is going to be amazing because your energy is behind it, because you didn't overthink it. You didn't think about what people thought about you. Now, if you are a warrior about people's thoughts about you or judgments about you, I'd like you to take this into consideration. Everyone is conditioned and programmed to act and be a particular way. Parents are conditioning their children so the children help the parents feel better because the parents don't think they need to work on themselves. This is in the book The Vortex from Abraham Hicks. Jerry and oh my God, what's her name? I'm getting really hot in my car. I can't remember. Anyway, the Abraham Hicks Vortex book. So what happens is we're programmed and conditioned from basically like being born. Like people say to their kids, don't do that, you're making me feel this way. So children start acting a particular way to appease their parents. Therefore, we are completely conditioned as we grow up to be adults, and you go to do that post or put out that program or spend that money, invest in yourself or buy that pretty dress or whatever it is. And then you go into judgment and go, oh, hang on a minute. What if they won't receive me? What if they don't like me? Holy shit, oh my God. And you start thinking about it, you start overthinking, you go into overwhelm, you go into judgment, and then you don't do the thing. You don't do it. And I know some of you have experienced this. You don't take that leap or take that action into that intuitive hit, whatever it fucking was, whatever that thing was, whether it was Bitcoin or taking that chance or, just buying that thing. You didn't do it because you went into worrying, you went into thinking, you went into judgment of yourself, you went into your conditioned, programmed mind thinking that you might be rejected. You use money as an excuse. You use time as an excuse. And you found every excuse that your brain could give you, because you're in the thinking mind. So, of course, it's going to come up with a whole lot of excuses for you. I know, I've been there. And then it never happened. And the only person that that's going to affect in the end is you. And all of those people that you could have actually helped if you had taken those intuitive hit. But I don't want you to go into guilt here. So everything is always perfect and divine timing, because you get what you get when you get it. And I hope that some of you get what I'm saying. So I'm going to leave it there in my cryptic talk. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Listen to your gut, take action, stop using so many excuses, don't worry about things, come into the present moment, live in the present moment, project into the future to feel those feelings, bring them into the present, knowing that they are coming your way no matter what, and you don't need to know exactly how. And do a little bit of a scan of the past to see what you learned, and then leave all the other stuff behind. This is your time to shine. This is your time to rise. This is your time to jump into the 5D and be. To be all of you unapologetically. Not everyone is going to like you, because you're going to trigger them, because they're going to see things in you that they want to be. You are a mirror for others. So when people are judging you, what can you learn within that? Because they're being a beautiful mirror for you to learn. And you're being a beautiful mirror for them. It changes absolutely everything. Everything. So it means that I show up, despite people maybe judging me. I can't care. I can't. But I can learn. I can learn, and I can lead with love. And so can you. I will see you tomorrow, and be ready to hear about the announcements, because today I listened to my intuition after my meditation, and I had some pretty amazing hits, and I'm sure you're going to like them. Sending you so much love. You're welcome, Stephanie. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weekend, and I will see you later. Bye.